So we have just updated the calendar. So we're starting Unit H today. So we're going to be doing a lot of solving equations, but we're going to be doing some not necessarily solving of an equation, because we're going to have two variables starting tomorrow. We're going to solve the equation for one of those variables. Friday is going to be kind of a goofy day because it's Battle Royale in the morning. And in the morning, then, so the first 8 mods are probably going to be down in the field house. And then after that, it'll be back up here. So we'll have the afternoon class on Friday for sure. We'll just have some whiteboard practices. The morning class won't have anything. Then next week, Tuesday, you got a formative and an independent learning day on Friday again. Then the following week, you've got ACT. So if you're a junior, you're here at school taking the ACT. If you're not, you're just working from home that day. We'll give you something to do that day. And then we've got a formative on that Thursday. And then it looks like we're testing on the 19th, which is the week before spring break. So that's your schedule up to spring break, or up to weeks. Make sure that if you've got some stuff to turn in, that you get that turned in. There's many people in this room that haven't taken the test yet. Make sure you get that test done as soon as possible. And make sure you get your homework turned in even faster than that. Okay? Then, so H1 is we're going to go back into solving equations for one variable. And we did a lot of this right towards the end of first semester. And then did a lot more at the beginning of second semester. And so we got to remember our 5 steps. Okay? So first off, we distribute. What do we do, or what is the point of distributing? What are we getting rid of when we distribute? What are we getting rid of? Who remembers? What do we got? Parentheses. Yep, we're going to get rid of parentheses. Okay. So we get rid of our parentheses by making or distributing. Okay. Then we're going to clear our fractions. How do we go about? Remember, we spent lots of time on this. How do we go about clearing our fractions? Right here, Mr. H. We switched it up to single page notes. How do we go about clearing? What do we do? We're going to multiply. What are we going to multiply by? Greatest? Or just a common denominator? Just a? Yep, we're going to multiply by a common denominator. Then we're going to combine like terms. Okay. Then we get on these two over here, we want to get it so that we have a variable on one side and all of our numbers on the other side. And that's the goal in steps 4 and 5, to solve for that variable. First we add and subtract, and we multiply or divide. So we've planned our work. Let's now work our plan. In number 1, do I have parentheses that I need to clear? Nope, no parentheses. So step number 1, done. We've distributed. In number 1, Do I have fractions that I need to get rid of? Nope. Step number 2, done. In number 1, do I have like terms that I can combine on the left side or the right side? Nope. Step number 3, done.
What a nice problem.
I know. Step number 4, add or subtract. What are we going to do? Add or subtract? Subtract what? Subtract 6 from both sides? Okay. If I do that, what's left over? What's left over on this right side, or left side, excuse me? Those go away, so I'm left with 12x. What's left over on the other side? 8. Okay. Do I need to add or subtract anything else? No, so we're good there. Multiply or divide is the next step. Divide by, Levi says divide by 8. We agree. Not a lot of agreement going on for you. What do you got? Dylan says divide by 4. No agreement on that one either. Gotcha. Fox says divide by 12. Agreement on that one? There's a lot more agreement. I actually saw at least one person agree on that one, and we are going to divide by 12. Lasha, do you remember why we're dividing by 12? Get the variable all by itself. Yep, that's our goal. Our goal over here is to get the variable all by itself.
Remember, any number divided by itself is 1. So if that was 100x divided by 100, you get 1. So now we're left with x equals what?
Do I like the fraction 8 over 12? No, I don't. Okay. Will, what can I reduce it by?
2/3. Or you can turn it into 2/3, reducing it by 4.
Dividing both top and bottom by 4?
There it is. Pink dash box.
Huh?
Nothing like it.
Nothing like that good right answer at the end. Okay. You try number 2.
You got your steps on your sheet, you got the steps on the board.
Yep.
Start with distributing. Distributing to it. And you got a question.
Do I have parentheses to clear in number 2? Nope, so that's done. Do I have fractions to clear in number 2? Nope, that's done. Do I have like terms to combine in number 2?
Yep.
Nope, that's done. Okay. Add and subtract. What do I want to add? What do I want to subtract? Subtract 3 from both sides first is what I heard.
Some of you might have subtracted x, that's fine. We'll just keep working, you'll get the same answer.
Yep. So then we've got negative 2x equals x plus 5. Then I would subtract x. That would give me, oops, I forgot to cross out those for Mr.
Thank you
H.
very much. You know, I didn't have to remind you the last one. Did a good job.
I know. Anything more to add or subtract? Nope. So then a divide of negative 3. So that leaves me with x equals negative 5/3. And that fraction can't be reduced. Good? All right, let's go on to number 3. You guys still have your the 5 steps up at the top. Do I have distribution to do on this one? Yeah, I have 2 of them to do on this one. So I've got to distribute this 5 into there and into there. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 6x. 30x.
Let's get crazy with it. was gonna say that one. You gotta get permission from the
2 times 9x. 2 times -4. -8. Okay. Fractions. No fractions. Combine like terms. No. Okay. Subtracting. What do we want to subtract or add first? What do you want? So wouldn't that just be add 8? Because it's already subtracting, right? Right? Okay, so we're going to add 8. Oops, put it in the wrong spot.
Good question. You can do either. You should look at the
Mm-hmm.
Yes, remember there's different things you could do here.
We could have, what would have been our other one to do for that one? What do you got?
Yep.
We could have subtracted 18x, what would have been another one?
Could have started with this.
Could have subtracted 30x, or subtracted 15.
Yep, there's 4 options for that.
4 options in that one.
And you're-
All going to get to the same spot.
Correct.
Okay? So we chose this path. What's our next plan of attack on this path? Minus 18x? No.
You could do that. It's gonna make even more.
Going to give you 2 more steps.
So if we moved this constant over here, now we want to
Move variables
do the
back to the other side. So we minus 30x is from this one.
Yes. Now if you did that on like on an assignment or a test, you can still get there. You're just gonna keep working.
You're just going to work a little longer.
Yeah. So when in doubt, just keep solving.
Ooh, 18, if you got 18 x's and I take away 30 x's, what do you got? You got negative 12 x's.
Now here, what are we doing?
Divide both sides by negative 12.
Whatever number is with your variable.
Do they remember what we call that number with a variable? It's a C word.
Math.
No, not constant. That's close.
C-O. No. I don't know if there's a dash. Is there a dash in there? A hyphen?
Nope.
Nope. C-O-E. There we go.
Coefficient. Yes, it's called coefficient. Negative 23 over 12. Is there any number that goes into 23 that also goes into 12? No, there's not.
Got a couple sleepy people listening.
I know.
Should we make them do some jumping jacks? Or
Well, I think we could do number 4.
do we need anyone to come to the board for this one? Or?
No fractions? We didn't even give you one where you got to clear a fraction? That's neat.
Now we can just plus this. Plus that.
Because remember we just did that minus like 5x.
Save it. Seven x. Your x
I get x is 0. Yes?
Zero.
Right, let's do a rate of change problem. Now, once again, it helps to know what the problem is asking. This problem right here is only asking us for the units of this rate of change. So what are the units? Rate of change. So what's the unit of my y's? Because remember, rate of change is changing y's over changing x's. What do you got? Grams, okay. Then what do we say? Per. Oops, I spelled liter wrong. I spelled it with an E too early.
Now, did you just spell these out, or can they put G slash?
You could put G per ml, yeah.
You want them writing per?
Yes.
Right. You could also write, yeah, G per M capital L, that's milliliters, grams per milliliter. If you like to write, if you want to be a, English major or something, you like writing, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to save yourself some time, which I feel like a lot of you do,
Mm-hmm.
you do that.
Now,
G per ML.
This is what screwed a bunch of people up on the test that we just took. Now this one says find the rate of change, but it also says that we have to include the units. That's you. Okay? So, which 2 points do we want to pick? Which 2 points? First and second, second and third, third and fourth, first and third, first and fourth, second and fourth. Second and fourth, I heard, was the first one that I heard. Okay? So second and fourth. What is the change? How do I go from 21 to 63? 21 to 63. Add 42. Which means I gotta look here. 2 to 6. What's my change? 2 to 6. Add 4. Okay? Elliot, how do I find rate of change? What? Yeah, what's the something? And what's the other something? $42. Then we should probably turn around and stop drawing on Ash's paper, right? And pay attention up here. Yes? Good plan, not a good plan. There's really only one answer. Is it a good plan? Okay, turn around. We'll wait. Okay. So you said what now? 42. Because remember, we said we got to include the units. 42 grams per 4 milliliters. Do I like the fraction 42 over 4? Yay or nay? Nay. Okay. What goes into both? 2 goes into both? Okay. Do I like that one? Am I okay with that? Okay. What would I like even more than that? Instead of 21 over 2, what would I like even more than that?
What do you say?
Yeah. What do you mean divided again? Okay, what do we get? Now, if we're dividing, then it's not a fraction.
What do you got? It's a decimal.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I thought you pocketed it up like you knew what it was. Sorry, my fault. Anybody? I see lots of calculators out there. What's 21 divided by 2? What do you got? So what would I put at the end of 10.5? Like that?
Oh, yeah. Now, Mr. Linsmeyer, I had to step over one. Correct me. Now, rate of change, are you always looking for per one?
Per one?
Per one. Is that,
Ideally per
is
one.
that the type? That's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah.
So, like, we want to know the cost per slice of pizza, right?
Yep.
Not per two
Or we could have written this also as 21/2 grams per milliliter, like that, if we don't want it to decimals.
Oh. If you like decimals
No,
for these?
no. Well, I'm iffy on them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the decimals, especially when we're doing money, you know.
Now, what does that mean?
Explain it using your words.
Words.
10.
What does that mean?
Well,
I'm asking what this rate of change means. No, we're not talking money.
if we
So
were
it's
talking
not
about-
money. If we were talking money, then yes, I would say it's $10.50. But we're not talking money. So we can't be talking money. So what does this mean? Which is key for us to go on to fill in the last two things. So we gotta know what this means now that we have it, that we've established what a rate of change is. We've gotta know what that means before we can go on and just start throwing random numbers into this one. So we can actually put in true, real numbers. What does 42 grams per 4 milliliters, or 21 grams per 2 milliliters, or 10.5 grams per milliliter, what does that mean? What was that? So what does that mean?
On the right track.
You are 100% on the right track.
So we're working with, be crazy here, we're working with these, right?
Yeah.
What about those? What about, should we give another example of a different problem, like different,
No, we had one on this one, yeah. Yes. Yeah. So what do you mean? Go back here. What do you think? What you were saying? Okay. So when you add another milliliter in to your mixture, it'll what? Not multiply. No, not double.
you're on the right track.
If you add another milliliter, so we took care of milliliters, right? We took care of milliliters. So if we add another milliliter, what happens? What goes up? The what? So what's another way of saying that? Other than what we have here. So every milliliter that we add into our bowl, let's say we've got a bowl. Here, Mr. H has a bowl right there. I put in 1 milliliter of silver.
Really heavy.
What happens? What? What increases? What's grams? Say it loud.
Weight.
It's weight. The weight of that bowl increases. Okay? It's going up. It's adding. We're adding to the weight that's in that bowl. Okay? So, here now. If I add 1 milliliter, what's going to happen on this side? It's not going to double. Get that out of your head. We never said, nowhere in this entire day have I said anything about doubling or tripling, correct? Right? Right? Okay? So should it be coming out of your mouth? No, we just spent 5 minutes right over here explaining what this problem is. Okay? For every milliliter that we add into our bowl, what happens? It's what? By how much? Say it loud. By 10.5, right? So if we go up by 1, right here next to Mr. H, what does this side have to go up by? 10.5.
Yes.
So what is 63 plus 10.5? 73.5. So that means that the point 7.0, comma 73.5 is on our graph. And we can fill it in the chart.
Really important to pay attention to these because these are all going up by 2, 2, 2, 2, then 1. You need to pay attention. You can't just assume it's 2 and then go up by 21 over here. So make sure you're paying attention.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is where the majority of us struggle. Even though over on the side board, we still had an example of what does this point mean. It's number 4 over there. So what does this point mean? 7, 73.5. What does it mean? Seven milliliters of what? Of silver, okay. So it means 7. Here, I'll even color code this for you. 7 milliliters of silver. Always. Okay. Means what? I need a verb kind of in there. Per is not a verb.
We use the similar use.
We've already used it.
It starts with W.
It does start with a W. Weighs.
There we go.
There you go.
Weighs 73.5 grams. Good. That was not real, by the way. Well, it's not being personal.
Okay? Now that's the meaning. Hold on 1 second, Mr. H.
Hold on.
Right? What is the meaning of this point? That is the meaning. It has nothing to do with rate of change. I don't know how many people gave me the rate of change here on the test. Even with it sitting over there on the side board for you to look at. I still kept getting wrong answers for this one. Or somebody gave me not a complete sentence. Or on one of the problems, we told you, use this word, this word, this word, and this word. And you used none of the words. That it literally said in the problem, use total cost, rent, dollars, hour. Those were the 4 words that you had. Actually, that's 5 words. It's total cost. Those were the 5 words that you had to use. And if you didn't use those 5 words, I took off all of the points. Part of me wanted to take off double the points. There I used double finally. Okay? But I didn't.
I know you told me to hang on, but I had to let go because I.
That's right. I understand. What was your question, Mr. H?
You're
That's a
Well,
good question.